I'm in a rich vein of horror movies at the moment. I just can't get enough of them. I don't know what it is, and particularly slasher is the genre that I am kind of moving towards. I love the simplicity of it, and it just gives me that kind of easy watch, warm feeling that I kind of need at this moment as the dark nights close in Scotland and it starts to get a little bit colder. I want some comfort, and these movies deliver it to me. Every now and again I do like a horror comedy though, especially when it pokes fun at my favourite slasher genre. Camp Death 3 in 2D definitely does that. Even the title is a rip on Friday the 13th Part 3 in 3D, which wasn't great 3D, but this one is filmed and shot and presented in glorious 2D. And that's just one of the jokes of the many that you get across this way. This is most definitely a comedy first and horror centric second. It follows the plot of a typical slasher movie, but imbues it with some outright offensive and anti-PC humour. You can tell from the trailer whether you are going to like this movie or you are going to hate it. It doesn't hide, it's unabashedly in your face with its humour. It pokes fun at everybody, at anybody. It has no reservations, it has no qualms, it has no boundaries, and it depends whether that is the kind of movie that is for you or not. It is all about, now wait there for this storyline, it's a good one. It's all about a group of people that are going to a camp to open it back up. It's been shut for a few years after a severe incident happened several years prior, and this time round they've decided to open it up to delinquent souls, people who are in need of serious help but don't get it. They get this camp instead, and someone, this legendary killer from the past, has come back to stalk them one by one, and people start to get murdered in various ways that are pretty inventive. And that's one of the key things about slasher movies. I do like the colour, and we have a memorable one here. I do like the wacky deaths, and they definitely go for that here as well. There is lots of setups and there is lots of jokes that land, but there is also lots of jokes that don't land. But by firing out so many, there is going to be something that tickles your funny bone at some point. The obvious homages to horror movies are littered throughout this film, and it feels like somebody that truly loves that genre, that wants to ignite a passion in people that watch those kind of movies as well. Intrinsically built in with the horror movies is low budget. It's one of the things that you just don't mind. That's why there is so many horror movies out there, because it is easy to make, they are cheap to make, and there is a built-in rabid fan base just waiting for these kinds of movies. So the fact that this is low budget and in some stages does nothing but to help the movie look its part even more. There is some techniques used throughout the movie to give it a kind of odd feel as well, where it be ramped up footage or just in-camera tricks or kind of cheap-ish special effects that do fit in with the whole aesthetic of the movie and feel like something that you would probably find in a mid-80s horror movie. They all come together to create a story that I was kind of invested in. I liked some of the characters, I liked some of the humour, I loved some of the threads of humour that passed throughout the story. Someone has lovingly created this movie for horror fans, and I think it's one of these things that's going to fade into the shadows, but there will be a cult of people who find this and find it one of the best things they've ever seen. It is definitely a movie where you want to get a group of horror fans together, get them round to watch this movie, and you will have a great time with the characters, with the kills, with the villain, with some of the outrageous humour that it shoves in your face, and it's something you're either going to like or you're not. But then again, they own that, they show it in the trailer, they don't try to hide anything, it is there for everybody to see, and I think it is definitely worthwhile checking out. So I'm going to drop the trailer down below for you people to check out. Let me know in the comment box what you think of it. I'd love to know your opinion of it. For me, Camp Death 3 in 2D was a pretty good movie. I had fun with it. It's something that I could see myself going back to, because in the slew of horror comedies, or comedy horrors, not a lot of them work, and this one I felt did in the way it was attempting to make it work. Definitely fun. I definitely will go back to this one at some point. I'd love to know your thoughts on the movie, and I'll see you next time on Man vs Film.